This is Disneyland News Today. I'm Tom Corliss here now with the top Disneyland Resort stories for September 16th, 2022. There were so many announcements at the Disney Parks Experiences and Products panel during the D23 Expo that we had to compile everything that you have to look forward to at the Disneyland Resort. So let's talk about it real quick. Of course, if you want more details on any of these stories, they're up at DisneylandNewsToday.com. I also did a video here on the channel where I gave you my reactions to all of these announcements. But of course, the Mandalorian meet and greet with Grogu and Mando is coming to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That'll begin in November. The Hulk Project Exo robotic exoskeleton meet and greet will start at Avengers Campus at sometime, it's apparently any day now. We don't know when. They said in the next week. This week has come and gone, so any day now we expect. A new Avengers attraction was announced that it'll take place in the multiverse, featuring King Thanos, a Thanos who won in an alternate reality to Avengers Endgame. That, of course, is taking the place of that previously announced e-ticket that they announced at the last Expo. Pacific Wharf at Disney California Adventure will be reimagined into San Francisco from Big Hero 6. It looks like the Pacific Wharf Cafe and the Bread Tour might be going to make way for a meet and greet and that Lucky Cat Cafe. Run Disney will return to Disneyland Resort in 2024. New concept art was released for Mickey's Toontown attractions, as well as Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, mostly the queue of that experience. The Pixar Pier Hotel will be turned into the Pixar Place Hotel and include a Finding Nemo splash pad. More details were revealed about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We now know the backstory. Wondrous Journeys is going to be the name of that fireworks show we've been calling Wondrous for several months that we've been reporting on it. It will debut next year for the 100 Years of Wonder celebration. As well, for that event, there will be new platinum decorations and character costumes across all of the Disneyland Resort. Meanwhile, World of Color will be updated to a new show, as we also previously reported, called World of Color 1, which will feature Coco, Encanto, Soul, Moana, and more at California Adventure. The Magic Happens Parade will finally return to Disneyland early next year after a 3-year absence and only a couple weeks of actually performing. And one of the biggest reactions on the Expo floor, Porto's Bakery and Cafe is coming to the downtown Disney district. They got a huge reaction. We got to sample some of the pastries at the Expo, and I kind of get it. They were pretty good, and I'm a pastry snob coming from Bronx, New York. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what they're doing at downtown Disney. With the reimagining of Mickey's Toontown fully underway, we got our first look at the project's final form at the Expo. We had several new updates on the project as seen in scale models on display in the Parks and Resorts Pavilion. We've seen a couple of new restaurants planned for the land, as well as a new name for a favorite returning attraction. Let's take a look, though, right now at Goofy and Donald and what their new offerings will be. A large print of the aerial view concept art was hung up in the wall of the pavilion, but there were two scale models, one displaying downtown Toontown and the other, which we're showing you right now, depicting the neighborhood area of the land. Donald's boat has crashed into Goofy's duck pond and has become a wet and wild play area for kids. The water lilies seen at the left, the balancing beams and rocking toys are all surrounded by soft padded ground to make it safe for kids to run and play. In the bow of the boat, it sprung a leak and is spraying the kids who frolic in the splash play area of the duck pond. Formerly, the boat was set in a pool with an accompanying waterfall behind it. The pond has been filled in to make this new play area. The boat itself, which was once open to guests to explore, has been closed for many years, seems to have been permanently closed with a new door affixed to the entryway. To the right of the boat is the queue entrance for Chippendale's Gadget Coaster, which will be a rename and slight retheme of Gadget's Go Coaster. They did not give us any further details on that, however. And between Donald's boat and Goofy's house is yet more spongy ground play area for the kids. And unlike Donald's boat, Goofy's house will once again be open to receive visitors. In the concept art on the models accompanying descriptive panels, we see that the inside of the house will be turned into a candy-making machine full of buttons and levers that send sour balls rocketing through a series of tubes all over the house. Outside in Goofy's How to Play yard, kids can run and jump and climb in a play area that's just for them. With an interactive sound garden and plenty of spaces to roam, this will be fun for kids looking to burn off some churro-fueled energy. Further in the backyard, a clubhouse will feature a rope bridge to climb up and a long, meandering path behind where Goofy has left his fishing equipment out. And just beyond Goofy's backyard is another play area for kids at Centennial Park. The Dreaming Tree, based on Walt Disney's favorite tree of the same name from his hometown in Marceline, Missouri. But whereas the real Dreaming Tree was a place to relax and let your imagination wander, this play area is all about fun and play. The undulating roots and rolling hills provide kids an opportunity to crawl and explore. Also in Centennial Park is the new musical fountain. The new fountain will offer interactive features, water tables for guests to splash in, and will come to life in special moments throughout the day and with lights at night. This section of the model of Toontown is downtown Toontown. You can see the entrance to the upcoming attraction Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway within the El Capitan Theater on the right. Our focus right now, however, is to the left of the model. Here we find two eateries that serve the animated citizens of Toontown and the visiting human guests. Good Boy Grocers is a Pluto-themed roadside stand offering grab-and-go snacks and drinks, replacing the former Goofy's gas station, which offered the same fare in a relatively similar setup, but maybe more thematic. I'm kind of sad we lost Goofy's gas. To the right of Good Boy Grocers is the rethemed Cafe Daisy. This quick service window will offer diner classics for hungry tunes. Location was formerly a similar quick service restaurant named Daisy's Diner, and of course there were other little service windows there as well. There was Pluto's Dog House, and beyond that, towards the back of the area, the bulging pink and tan building was the former Clarabelle's ice cream location, which had been removed entirely and not replaced by anything. The informational placard for the display shows the proprietors of each establishment. And the center of downtown Toontown has seen the removal of the gazebo, with more area opened up for seating and overhead light strings hung between the newly installed trees. The bank and Toontown City Hall are still present through the reimagining, you'll be happy to know. We also got a better look at the entrance of the all-new attraction through the El Capitan Theater, whose spire can be seen from outside the land as work continues. So exciting. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, not my favorite attraction, but from what we've seen, that new concept art for the queue, this stuff for the model, these all seem like very positive changes. I'm excited to see this early next year. Let's talk about the things that were not announced at the D23 Expo. Of course, we talked about the return of the People Mover. We expected that'll finally return to Disneyland as part of an overhaul of Tomorrowland. Well, they decided it was too early to announce any overhaul of Tomorrowland. And in fact, Disneyland stayed away from any project announcements that they considered long-term. So they even ignored the Swiss Family Treehouse or Tarzan's Treehouse project, which is already under construction and which they already announced that a new IP is coming, or a new theme is coming to the OC Register months ago. So they just decided anything past the start of that 100 Years of Wonder, they really didn't want to talk about it. So we'll have to wait and see what the future holds for Tomorrowland. Of course, they also remain silent about the launch of Magic Band Plus, which is starting to become a joke at this point because it launched months ago here in Florida. Hasn't worked out great, but nonetheless, still no date as to when that is launching in Anaheim. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, including for Celebration 40, which is coming up in a few days, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make the show happen every single week. This week, we found that the Hollywood Lounge in Disney California Adventure reopened with a new look. The beige and red facade has been swapped for white and teal, and eye-catching Hollywood Lounge logos have been added to the exterior walls. The counter draws on the same 50s style theming. The Hollywood Lounge logo from the outside can be seen on the monitors above the counters. There's also a black and white checkerboard pattern wrapping around the counter, accented with pink trim. The back wall and register areas have a contrasting diamond pattern, and that checkerboard pattern continues around the building towards the seating area. The checkerboard backing, it's worth noting, is only a decal, but the top of the Hollywood Lounge has a red neon sign that reads Ice Cold Refreshments, and the design is unchanged, but simply refreshed. The Paradise Pier Hotel at Disneyland Resort recently began its retheming to become the Pixar Place Hotel. Of course, last week we saw that the main iconic signs were being removed from the building, and now the waves on the roof that would light up in the evening have been removed. They were part of the coastal California theme of the hotel. The corresponding Paradise Pier area of California Adventure, of course, closed several years ago to make way for Pixar Pier, and what remains of it was turned into Paradise Gardens Park, so it all makes sense that there's no more Paradise Pier Hotel. At the D23 Expo, we finally learned the name of the upcoming Disney Vacation Club Tower coming to the Disneyland Hotel. Unsurprisingly, the hotel will be named The Villas at the Disneyland Hotel. The logo is shaped like a D with a 4-point star in the center, separating 4 different colored sections. No new art was released, but it will open. We know it'll open towards the end of next year. A new 5th edition zombie Tiki Mug made a surprise debut on Tuesday night at Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar at the Disneyland Hotel. The new mug features a different coloring than the previous 4 editions. Until last summer, the mug and its drink were known as the shrunken zombie head that was changed for cultural sensitivity purposes. It's no secret that the Walt Disney Company has been looking into a metaverse of their own. Earlier this year, they hired Mark Bozon, formerly of Apple Gaming, as the vice president, and Mark White as the senior vice president for the next generation storytelling division, with the explicit intention to turn their metaverse strategy into executable plans. In a recent interview with Deadline, CEO Bob Chapek dug a little deeper into those plans. Next-gen storytelling, Chapek says, is what Disney is calling their metaverse in an intentional avoidance of the term. He wants to turn Disney Plus into an experiential lifestyle platform to bring the physical and digital together. One idea involves bringing the theme parks into your living room. Quote, in order to reach the 90% of people that will never, ever be able to go to a Disney park, we have before us an opportunity to turn what was a movie service platform to an experiential platform and give them the ability to ride Haunted Mansion from a virtual standpoint, Chapek said. The concept goes beyond riding the rides from your sofa. Though the projects are in embryonic stages, Chapek also floated the idea of exploring the rides deeper than the average guest, with experiences that allow you to digitally step into the environment and see 360-degree views of audio animatronics or examine the Pepper's Ghost effect in the Haunted Mansion ballroom. The idea of combining theme parks with media experiences was brought up last year by Parks, Products and Experiences Chairman Josh D'Amaro, but in the reverse situation, adding layers to the theme park experience. Quote, it provides us with unending opportunities at the theme parks. It can bring Main Street alive in ways you've never seen it before, never thought about it before. You can have the whole theme park participate in a game that culminates in a celebration at the hub at the top of Main Street, D'Amaro said. Chapek also mentioned the membership program we recently reported on, rumored to be something akin to Amazon Prime. Quote, when a family comes to our parks, we know exactly what you did. Let's say you stay a week. We got 7 days, 24 hours a day. We know everything that you do in a park, he said. And if you give us the permission and ability through the membership app, we'll program your Disney Plus experience. Not according to what you watched last or what other people who watched the show, but to what you did and what you experienced. That is somewhat creepy, but kind of cool. With the spooky season right around the corner, we've been seeing a lot of Haunted Mansion-inspired merchandise, and at the World of Disney in the downtown Disney district, we spotted a Haunted Mansion chess set for $99.99. Not to be confused with the $999 Happy Haunts. I'm glad it's not that price, though. On the front of the box is the Haunted Mansion logo, and from the outside you can see each of the chess pieces. The back of the box details the contents along with an image showing the full setup, so you can see how the pieces are intended to correspond with traditional chess. Along the side, you can see images of some of the pieces as well. They did have a board set up for us to see, and the pawns are a mix of the iconic raven and the bat stanchions found in the queue. The board also features the groundskeeper as the rook, the headless knight as the knight, the hitchhiking ghost as the bishop, Madame Leota as the queen, and the hatbox ghost as the king. The side of the board has intricate vines and gargoyles atop them, and next to the rightmost gargoyle is also the light switch for the board and a charging port. The pieces are light blue and light pink and all translucent to allow some of the light to shine through them. Is it really the Haunted Mansion, though, if you don't have the hitchhiking ghost? So luckily, they made the cut as one of the pieces in the set. I think I got to own this. This is pretty neat. It's a good price point, I think, for such an elaborate piece, too. For the absolute latest Disneyland news, head on over to DisneylandNewsToday.com and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. For DLNT, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Looking for the latest in Disney news on the go? Then download WDWNT, the app. From news to videos to park hours and more, WDWNT, the app, is your one-stop shop for the latest from the Disney world. Available on iPhone and Android, just search for WDWNT in your device's app store.